Hi, this is the adventure game template, and I am the developer on this. My name's Nick Gooch, and I'm here to show you what it's got. So basically, right here it's got this intro video, which is all based in Unity, the particle effects and everything. You could change that if you wanted, put your own text. Alright, hit start. And then from here, we have the main menu. Now, I use a 360 controller. You could use an Xbox One controller. You can use a mouse and a keyboard. You can put on Oculus and it'll work. I've actually started making an Oculus version I got the hands working and stuff, but it has to be a different file, so I can't really sell them together. So I'm looking at making two versions. But if people are interested in this enough, and that if anybody is looking for Oculus version, I'm willing to work in that direction. Alright, so from here you have options. You can hit play intro again if you wanted, and that would play the intro. You can this over here I'm scrolling over because I'm using the mouse right now. This image is a button. It's also written right down here. Probably going to change the menu a bit, but for right now it's using this style. It's an upgrade, but I'm already thinking about the next upgrade. So from here you can use anything on the joypad up and down to select the different levels. I've got a few of the demos from my other products, and then I have the AGT demo, which is what I'm here to show now. So here we have a little intro with the title. Now it's called For the Long Haul. Basically, I'm creating a demo level that's going to take place in my game, like Mythos and Universe, and that's its own thing. So there's this thing in Viking times. They had a building called a Long Haul, so the level's called For the Long Haul because of that. Because the idea is that this is going to be like a little Viking town. As you can see right now, it's just a lot of gray stuff. But a lot of the functionality stuff's in here, and that's the point. I'm selling it as a template so you can design your own games too. That is the whole idea. Now if you hit start here, you'll see that it brings up a pause menu. You can also find this by hitting escape on the keyboard. I've mapped in some of the the controls that look like the Xbox buttons. I have back, but of course with Xbox One they changed that. It's not like back, it's like a menu or something, but just be aware. I don't know, I'll let you know. Okay, now if you hit up and down on the controller, you'll see that you can select different things. So I have a backpack. Right now I don't have anything in my backpack. Oh man, I better find some stuff. And then over here is a game map. So, oops, I have it. The backpack still up. There's a bit of a thing I'm working on to fix that, but it hasn't been fixed yet. Now, if we go back to the game map, you'll see I can zoom in with X and Y on the joystick for now, or plus and minus on the keyboard will work too, or I can go over there and click it. You'll see my good character moves because with all this stuff you get options in your little inspector window in Unity, and you'll be able to choose things like if you want the player to move or not. In this case I have it so where the player can move, so because I just think it's fun. If you unpause the game and you hit game map, you can do that, and you can move around. Kind of have like a third person perspective, top down view. It's not a full-on third-person camera system or anything like that, but this can work with that. I mean, I'm building it for a first person, but I mean, it translates to any style of game that you're trying to make. That's the idea, is to make it So you don't have to build all this stuff. You can just start with a good base. So I'm trying to lay down a solid foundation, create a game level, and then once you play that game level, maybe you guys want to like check out the real game when it comes out. So just trying to create some sort of income off of this so I can focus on it more and more. So another reason I'm using Twitch, because I know it's possible to get viewers and stuff, and anything helps at this point, really. So right here, you walk up this guy, you hit the X button, and he'll give you a little menu. So what's he got? He's got a really cool bow. So we'll buy the really cool bow. Free arrows for life. And then you'll see here, I pick it up. I went and moused over it, but I could have just like hit A and bought it. And I picked up the bow from here. I don't have it going directly in your inventory at the moment. That functionality could be added. I kind of like it showing up for now and just being a pickup, so you can pick it up. Alright, so now if you walk over here, you can see I can shoot these barrels, and that is an asset that I already have on the store that will come with this package as well. So you get the barrel, and it's actually been updated a bit since the release of the last one. Now from here, you can see if you look down the bottom right that there's currency, and the currency system right now is just that. It's just doing a gold, silver, copper kind of system. And then now if I look at my inventory, you'll see I have a couple items. So I've picked up a great knife and a really cool bow, and I can switch them out with button presses, 1 and 2 on the keyboard. And I can go ahead and break stuff with a knife if I want. So all the destructible type things work. And there is a bug right there I see with the handle disappearing, but oh well. Just gotta keep running with it. That's part of game development, yeah. I've got a whole, and on top of that, I've got a whole like database that I've started. I've already got, bugs lined up for myself, and just, I'm gonna pick this thing apart and keep making it better. That's the whole point. I'm really just trying to make something that I'm hoping to get enough people interested in, just to start using for their own game development. Alright, and now we have this cool little table. I was just shooting all that stuff on while I was talking. And then there's this guy over here. Talk to him. Oh, he's all mad. And in later version, I'm hoping that that. I'm probably not going to make it to where you have to kill the guy, because it's that way just now for simplistic reasons. But it's a simple enemy, basically. So we have a simple enemy that'll come attack you, and follow you around, and he had that big stick, and he'll try and, if there was animation, which hasn't been attached yet, he'd be able to swing it. But I'm planning to make those animations and have a rigged model eventually. It's just, doing what I can with the time I have to just create a lot of the backbone, So that's what's important, really, is all the stuff. That's the foundation, And then after you break through there, after you defeat that guy, this wall will break down, and you come out here and you'll see that this ground over here is red, and you step in it, it'll do damage to you, so we want to get out of that. So we have a damage over time effect, and that comes with the package. Now over here we've got, I got the power shot, so activate that. Now when I hold down the button, I'll get a cool 3-arrow shot. It's a lot bigger than the last one, and they all are independent of each other, and it's sticking to 3 different targets. And then I'd have this quest table, which I haven't quite finished out yet. It's on the back burner, if you will, right now to get more of the other Foundation stuff. But eventually, the idea is you'd come here, and there'd be a little quest table, and you'd be able to pick quests, which makes sense, right? Quest table, pick up quests, and then this is kind of your point of contact guy, Lord Rolf over here, which is it's like old Viking talk for like wolf, like a royal wolf. So he's kind of like the right-hand man of Thane right now, but they're characters who are probably going to change, and roles will change. I have a certain story aspect that I'm focusing on. Like, there's even going to be a quest for this quest line for this little girl, because I have a little girl, and she's created a quest line for that particular chick. And now you'll see that the fence has gone down over here. We got some enemies kind of freaking out over there. They have some navigation issues, looks like. I'll try to run from that guy. There's supposed to be 3 out here. I don't know where the other guy is. So as you can see, he'll come after me. Getting a little freaky there. Oh, gotcha. I don't know if I just picked up. No, I didn't pick it up. There's supposed to be a mining pick. There should be another guy. I've honestly never had him not be here. But, you know, that's how it goes when you just do these dry run playthrough things. There's always some new issue. It's like common knowledge. It's like never expect the first one to be the right one. Okay. And now I can't pick up the mining pick. Basically, you'd be able to mine that node up there. And that's about where we're at as far as progress on things. So you got a pretty cool gate script that you can make any length or size. It'll work off the distance the player is from, well, whichever point you decide. So you don't want to make the gate too big because, I mean, as you can see in the case of this one's really long because it's just like a lazy man's gate. But it had, and see, it doesn't go back up until I've reached a certain point. And that's just, you know, it's different, you know, look, so when I get close, it goes down, but it stays down. Like, now, if I get farther out of range, it'll come back up. And same deal. So, yeah, it's cool, and I've got it working to where you can go and up, down, left, right, and you can just pick it in the inspector window. Like, I really got to show you guys some of the file stuff, too. So, I'm going to pop over there. Let's see. So I got the build over here, but I can just kind of go through some of the level design stuff. I think a good place to start is probably in the level 001. This is the basic level that I've got. That's kind of your, this would be like, you know, the one you'd pick and pull from to change and make into your level, whatever you wanted to design. Okay, so there's like this thing I got called Simple System that I built. And it has a few cool things. I like the activation range thing. This is something that I'd seen used before, and like I decided, you know, I think I can recreate it, and I was able to recreate it all on my own and like made it, and I'm selling that on the asset store too. I was pretty impressed with that because it seemed like a kind of difficult task for someone like me because I have more of a design background. I'm not really a coder in the sense that most coding people are, you know. Better probably writing code like this, but to me it was impressive. So this has actually been a huge learning process because I was designing games for like Activision, a company called Toys for Bob a few years ago, and then I was doing level at that point I was doing level design, so I was building levels from the ground up for a game called Skylanders, and yeah, so eventually that kind of ran its course, and I ended up having a couple babies, so I've been out of the loop for a while, and I was kind of doing my own thing right now, and I'm enjoying it. So hopefully that will get me, this will get me somewhere, you know. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, anyways, back to this. The debug display, Ivy Moon Games. So right here, you can just write whatever you want. Rah, rah, rah. And if I hit play, it'll be up there on the top. Rah, 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 rah. And then you hit undo, because I like that, and I can't remember the alt code for the copyright symbol, so I don't really want to undo it. And then we have currency script, which is, like I was saying, this tracks the things into a gold, silver, copper amount. It's not that difficult of a script. It's just like doing some simple math stuff to, like, say when you have 100, well, that's a silver. If you have 101, that's like a silver and 1 copper. And then you just keep moving the decimal point over, and as the decimal point moves over, like, you either have gold, silver, copper. It's actually, I have that up for free right now on the asset store as well, which comes with this currency script. So feel free to check that out. I think it's cool because I always like that in games. It makes the currency feel stronger in some way, just because there's different levels of it, and it also is fun for, like, placing coins and stuff in games, because then it's like the gold coin really feels like it has some value because you gave it value. Okay, now experience. This one's straightforward. It just is doing some sort of math thing again, where it's like each level gets a little bit harder. You have to, like, get double the experience, double. So it just kind of doubles up right now. And certain things can give you experience in the game. Some of that stuff's set up right now. The destructible script can do it. Basically anything you want could do it if you just wrote the script for it. And of course, I'm willing to add scripts and things like that to this product if people are like, hey, could you do something like this? Like, if I'm available to do it, like, I'll top prioritize customers' requests over, like, other requests right now. So definitely think about that and let that put some confidence into, like, supporting this. Okay, now we have enemy drops. So this has a really cool pickup script that is also coming right now for free with the currency. I like it because you have this nice thing where you can pick which way the item rotates. You can pick which way, how fast it spins. So what that is, for instance, is like if I go and I kill one of these enemies over here. Let me go pick up the bow real quick. So I'll pick up the bow and just trying to get over here real quick. We'll get this guy. Oh. Ah, it's gonna get me. You see how we have this nice piece here. If I go over here, you can see it's using the pickup script, and from there, oops, sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to. This is one reason I like to use my Xbox controller, because then I can move in here and over here, and I can vouch for each other. Okay. Now you can see it's spinning. I can change this. I can make it spin, you know, super slow. Well, probably nobody wants anything to spin that slow, unless maybe it's a huge item and you want people to read it. I don't know. It's whatever you want. It's a pickup. I'm just building the script behind it. You put the model on it. You make it whatever you want. And you can set a pickup range, so that's how close I have to be to the item to pick it up. And if you heard when it appeared, it made a sound. That's because there's a spawn sound here, so you can make that whatever you want. Because of the pickup range, it needs to know who the character is that's able to pick it up. So in this case, it's the player. Everything right now is set up for 1 player. It's not really set up for 2 or 10 player. So its pickup would respond to an FPS controller. So I mean, if you had a networked game, like this would still work because everyone would be their own player on, you know, their version. Okay, and then this has a coin value, so that means like when I pick this up, I'll actually get 50 copper just because I'm awesome, and it'll make a sound. And then sometimes we want the pickup to activate something. In this case, there's nothing because the item is ran through some other piece of script over here, which is this inventory item thing, and that'll do all that stuff, so I don't have to worry about that. Now, if I walk over, I click over here, see, I'll pick it up, made the sound, disappears out of my hierarchy. And that's another thing that's important when building this stuff, is making sure you clean up your messes, because you can end up with things showing up in your hierarchy that you don't want. So that's definitely a thing I pay attention to while I'm building. Now, I use the FPS controller. This is something that comes with Unity. I think it's very useful. I didn't have to build a first-person controller, so it's pretty useful for me in that sense. It does have its limitations, so chances are, if this sells well, that it'll be its own proprietary first-person controller, and it won't be using their code. It'll be using my own. I haven't looked into it, and as you can see, it works pretty well right now. I have a good movement, I feel, with the controller. It feels really nice, and it's built with Unity, so the great thing about that is that it translates to all of the platforms. So it's a win-win in my head if we just stick with this, and then maybe someday I can go and change it. But the point of making this whole template in the first place was because I opened up Unity and I was like, where's all the stuff? Where's all the stuff I need? All I got is this FPS controller. What am I supposed to do? Import another package. Import another package. Haha, asset store. Haha, like, I could make this stuff, and I could make it the way that I think it should be done. So here I am doing that now. So we've got weapons also. So you can see this is the bow. There's the knife and all that stuff. I don't believe they're in here because the games was playing, and well, they're in here somewhere. Regardless, there's still some organizing that needs to be done, of course. I've done a few passes of organizing because I'm getting the first version up on the asset store, and it's going to get up there soon. So just keep doing passes. Now, if you look in here, we'll see we've got craft tools. That's the mining pick, the pickup for the mining pick. Intro cutscene. This is where we have, like, you know, this would be the title of your level. In this case, it's called For the Long Haul, which I explained earlier. And you know, level 001 new. This is the actual mesh for the level. There's the collision mesh, there's the ground mesh, and the ground mesh is when you're making these things, if you want to use their built-in nav mesh, which I'm trying to figure out how to use because I want to use it for the enemy system. So I'm trying, like I said, I'm trying to rely on Unity for some things, because the cool thing is it'll translate to all the different platforms in my head. That seems like a smart move. So we'll go here, and you can see there's the level mesh, and then there's just a few random pieces. Like I have a 1x1 block, so I know what that is in here versus the 3D programs. So, the like modeling programs. And then we have level art. inside here, I've got things like some lights. So these are just using more just in-house, you know, inside Unity stuff. So these are just placements for lights so that the lava kind of looks lit up. And then I have, you know, some props, throne, table, blah blah blah. It's just art stuff. Let's get to some good stuff. So, like I said, this little girl, she has a puppy. This is my daughter's doing. She's 2, and she came up with a quest line where you have to feed the dog, and then the girl gets bunny snacks because she really likes bunny snacks, which is like some sort of like little gummy snacks. She likes them. Anyways, there's the shopkeeper. So this is probably going to change a bit as time goes on, but as of right now, it's a working system. So we've got this icon that has a script that makes it point towards the camera, and have these scripts that make it trigger stuff, so it'll work with the button presses. I'm not going to go into all this stuff. We'll go into a few other things. Let's just check out the destructible. So this is the destructible script. So basically they're set up on a system of hits to kill, not hit points. I'm considering changing that at some point, but I haven't, because sometimes I feel like I just want something to break after you hit it 3 times, not really caring about how strong your weapon is or how powerful your moves are. Like, I want you to have to hit it a couple times, and then it'll break. So, you know, I use this. Of course, with that same theory, you could potentially, I mean, it all depends on how you want to math out weapon damage, and like how that increases and how your character gets stronger. Because sure, it feels fun to go back in an area and destroy something that used to take 10 hits and hit it once and it just blows up. That's fun. So I get it. So I don't know. It's one of those things where both work, and I think what I'll probably end up having is an option. Alright, what else? We've got the XP. So this is something that can give you experience. So when you get these barrels, you'll get experience, which will help you level up. Does it make a heck of a lot of sense to get experience from a barrel? I don't know, but that's what I did, and I think it'll work out. Because, I mean, it doesn't have to be a barrel. You can make it destructible. Anything, something's hard to destroy, you should probably get some credit for it. And credit in destroying things, to me, seems like an experience thing or something of value in the game. So why not start with a leveling system? Okay, so on hit color change, this makes it, if you check that, it'll just flash a color when you hit it. And that's cool for, like, say, like the enemies and stuff. Like, they're using a similar thing, so when I hit the enemy, they flash a bit white. So that way you know you made contact. Sometimes you want to do that. Sometimes it can just be for fun because you want it to all be a certain color. You can make a sound, and then there's effects, and they'll happen at the point of contact. So if you break something right here in this spot, well, that's where, or you swing and you hit it right there, that's where the effect will be. It won't be just in the center. I made sure to make it to where it's where the contact of the item, like the 2 collision boxes, wherever they met, that's where it's going to happen. So that's cool, I think, because you'll get some really nice effects with, you know, when you get some good animations or something like that of like swinging axes or whatever into stuff, like you'll get the mark right where you want it. And of course you can offset it though if you want, because sometimes maybe your effects aren't centered the way you thought they were going to be. So there's a little bit of an offset for height, for both that and the death effects. In this case, death effects is just like a puff of smoke because, I mean, it's a barrel and it's like the debris is starting to come out. So from there you have death sounds. I have 3 in here. The reason is because a lot of people aren't aware, maybe a lot of people are, but it's fun to drop the knowledge that, you know, things in 3s, it's like a rule of 3s type thing. I don't even know if that's this, but I heard somewhere that someone coined that term. So, but basically 3 sounds, all sounding different, like beep, boop, bop. Like these are just made up. This isn't from a book or anything. And if you just have beep, 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 every time you hit something, like, it's going to be annoying. If you have bop, 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 it's going to be annoying. But if you have like more of like them happening together, like beep, bop, boop, beep, bop, boop, like it can start to create more of a rhythm or natural feel. And I think that's what you really want to get when you're destroying something, is that nice natural feel of like not everything sounding the same. And then you have the debris, which in this case are a set of modeled out broken pieces, and then when the barrel's broken, that model shows up and physics happens and it kind of explodes outward. And then after that you have spawn pickup, and that will spawn something like the coins. For in this case, these all give us coins. And then I made it to where you could turn physics on and off directly in here, because sometimes, you know, like you have a stack of barrels, and if you get the barrels underneath and the top one doesn't fall, like, it looks silly. So you want to have physics so the barrel can fall. And sometimes it's fun to just roll your barrels. But I mean, I think I'm not really sure where we're at as far as running physics on a lot of things at once. Usually isn't a good idea. So when you can lower that number and use it where you need to, you can help your performance. So you don't always want to have it on either. So I didn't make it to where it was just like you're stuck with it on. I want it to be an option. You can turn it on or off. Okay, so then I think that to me is like a really good destructible, and you can build a lot of different types of things just from there. So that is basically, I think, what I have to show inside here, inside the file. I mean, I guess there's the UI. The UI is pretty interesting. If you go over here, there's like the pause canvas. So that's this menu, which UI is an interesting thing because the way the canvases work is that they're placed on like the camera basically, and they can be anchored to points of the screen, which can be good, but I'm sure, as you can see, like when you flip through these different things, like here's my computer, and that's what it looks like on my computer, but if I was using 4.3, it would look like that. It's just like, whoa, what a difference. Like, see, watch. So that's what 4.3 looks like. So this is someone playing it on an old TV because they just want to play it and they have an old TV for some reason. But, you know, the point is things should work for everybody. So if I hit A, it works, and there's that. Now if I hit the pause menu, you'll see that all the stuff is still on here. This is in the top corner, like the X and the minimize symbol, which is something I added, which I think is pretty cool. Like, I didn't know how to do that a few weeks ago, but I figured it out. And so now, if I can figure it out, I can minimize it, or I can just totally shut it down, which I think is a good option. Like, every game should have that option to just be able to back out of it, because you don't always, I mean, you want to be able to like just be in and out of your game. You don't want to have to make the player wait to figure something out. It makes things clunky. Like this, if you need to exit a game, you need to be able to exit it and get out. And that's that. That's my opinion. And it matters, I think. Okay. me doors. Okay, so I was just trying to show you the difference of that menu. And if you look at it in here versus in here. So yeah. Huh, it's funny. I hit start in one game. I think it must be affecting it, even though it's minimized. So there's some more stuff I have to look into, I'm sure. I think my controls work when I'm minimized because I'm selecting it. I'm not sure. Well, either way. Point was, I was just trying to show you that the size and placement of things is different. So you have to have that thought into account when you're building out the menus. So the pause menu is neat, I think, because I wrote this script that makes you be able to scroll up and down and side the menu, if I can find it. Menu buttons. There we go. Menu buttons. So there's all these little underlines, and those are the things that light up when, like, I hit up and down on the keyboard. You'll see that one's highlighted. Those are the underlines, and each one of those is connected to where is it? Is it on the canvas? Okay, yeah, this script right here. And so from this script, all the underlines connect to what the button's going to do. So if I am on underline 1 here on element 1, then I would be on map canvas, and then send me to the map canvas. And you can have it to where excuse me, you can have it to where it stops at the top, or it can loop back down around and around, or it stops at the bottom, or it can loop back up and around and around. So that functionality is in there. I think another thing I want to add is scale. I want to scale up text a little bit when you have that one selected, and I'm gonna have to figure out a way to do that. But like I said, I just kind of got the menu stuff started, and I really just want to get a version out to people so they can start using it, and I can sit and nitpick all this stuff for hours and hours. Okay, if you're still with me, I don't know who still is. We've got the map canvas here, and like this has things in it too. Turn that one off, like a plus and a minus button that move similarly. So, oh yeah, you guys didn't see the game over canvas. So if I go in here, I just know that the easiest way for me to die is just go stand in fire. Let's go over here. Oh, I'm in the fire! So bring up this screen, and from here you can select reload with the mouse, or you can hit A to confirm, and then I'll just reload the level. And I think that's about it. I'm just going to have to cut it there. Hopefully this video was of some use to people. And yeah, that's it.